Excuse me. Evening, viewers. I gather you probably knocked on from the last video with COVID thing. Coughing and spluttering, whatever. We all know why that is. But I mentioned that about Anzac Day. Anzac Day is this Tuesday, 25th of April. And I'm asking you all to get out there and pay your respects. Many people have made sacrifices to this nation. Either the ultimate sacrifice of losing their life, also people that have gone to conflicts or whatever and come back and really struggled since with their life. And people continue to do so today. We've got a lot of Australian Defence Force personnel deployed at the moment doing different things in different places. So I ask you to get out there to your local Cenotaph War Memorial, RSL, wherever the local service is held on Tuesday morning, and pay your respects. And when I say all of us, I mean all Australians. I'm Australian born and bred. I'm very proud of that. But being Australian born and bred doesn't mean that's the only person who's Australian. It's as simple as that. Clearly I'm Caucasian. Clearly I'm white. I'm as white as my GT. Skin colour doesn't matter. Race, colour, creed, right, religion, whatever. I don't care, frankly. That's me. I don't care. You can be white and born here. You can be white and not born here. You can be First Nation, Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islander. You can be Asian. You can be Middle Eastern. You can be European. You can be American. You can be Latino. You can be Nordic. You can be whatever. Doesn't really matter. But if you come to this country looking for a better life, because let's be honest, Australia is the best country in the world. And we have plenty here to share with the world. And there are plenty of people in the world that want that. But there are people in the world that want that in a bad way. They want to come here and steal our commodities and take over what we've got and change our way of life. They're not the people I'm talking about. I'm talking about people that want a better life for their family and for their kids and whatever. They come here, they contribute, they actually make their own way, and they become proper active members of society. In the end, that's an Australian. It doesn't bloody matter whether you're born here or not. You come here, you do the right thing, you make your own way, right? And you are as Australian as anybody else. It's as simple as that. And you don't even need to take the oath of citizenship for that, to be honest. I ask you to also go out there, and if you weren't born here, go out there and pay your respects on Anzac Day, because you know what? You've come here to enjoy in this country what we have. And if those people didn't go and defend that time and time again, then you wouldn't be here enjoying that, would you? Pretty simple. So, myself, I come from a line of ex-military people, and I'm very proud of that. My great-grandfather served before World War One. One of my grandfathers couldn't serve on medical grounds. The other grandfather did. Two of my great-uncles both served, the one I'm named after, and also one of them who ended up being a prisoner of war to the Japanese. My father served during the Vietnam conflict. And I myself, for those that don't know, most of you probably do know me, but for those that don't know, I'm ex-Australian Army Reserve. I got out a few years ago, but I feel I too did my bit. Here you go. That's mine, the famous Australian slouch hat. There it is. There he is, Harry the Horse. He's the symbol of RAME Corps, Royal Australian Electrical and Mechanical Engineers, that I proudly served with. I was a 226, which is a recovery mechanic. So basically, we were an attachment to a transport unit. Every time transport vehicles go out on manoeuvre, they have to have a recovery component with them, because if something happens to it, you're not allowed to leave it out there. You've got to bring it back. And not to have a go at the RACT guys, but all girls, because let's not diminish the contribution of women to the Australian Defence Force, and not necessarily even on the front line, but in behind the scene roles and beyond nursing. We all know about nursing, but when men went to war overseas, especially years ago, there was a lot of holes left in industry and things here in Australia that was required to support the war effort, and women stepped into those usually male-conducted roles. Let's not diminish that, And let's not lose sight of that women have made a massive contribution to the defence of this country. Well done, ladies. So the thing is that, RACT truck drivers could stick trucks into places that I wouldn't stick a fucking mini miner, to be brutally honest. And they'd roll them and blow them up and smash them and rip wheels off them and bury them up to the axle or whatever. It was our job to get them out. And we had to get them out. You weren't allowed to leave anything out there. It's simple as that. Nothing could be left out there in the civilian world. It all had to come back and put behind locked, closed doors. It's military hardware, for Christ's sake. So, mate, had a lot of fun doing those things. So, I will be up there on Tuesday morning, and I was presented with an Australian Defence Medal, an ADM. I've only got one medal. I'll be wearing that here. I'll also be wearing a beret. Now, there's only 5 jobs, not 5 corps or 5 units or anything like that in the Army. There's only 5 individual jobs that are allowed to wear a beret in the Australian Army. And there's 5 different colours. There's a sandy one, like sandy tan. There's a green one. There's a red one. There's a black one. And we, as recovery mechanics, had a blue one. I'm very proud of that. And I'll be wearing that with pride on Tuesday morning with my ADM. Now, what I want you to take note of is when you're there, how and where people wear medals. And that's what this video is all about. There's a right way and a wrong way to wear them. We as either serving or current military personnel are trained to wear our medals on our left-hand side. Any medals that are awarded to us, and don't ever use the word won. Nobody wins, okay? Your medals are presented to you as a recognition of your service. It is not something you win. I never served in conflict, thankfully. A lot of guys I know did, and they saw their mates die. That's not winning. All right, so we are told to wear our medals on the left. So when you're looking at somebody on Tuesday morning, chances are if they're wearing on the left and the right age and they've got the right sort of medals on, they're going to be the medals that they were awarded. People are allowed to wear medals that they weren't presented, that if you didn't serve but your grandfather or your wife or your uncle or your sister or whatever had medals, you're allowed to wear them on that morning. And I'm not saying don't wear them. I'm saying you should wear them. I'm saying you should get them out of the cupboard and you should be wearing them, and you should be paying tribute to those of your loved ones who served this country to make it what it is now. Just remember, though, there is a correct way to wear them, and the correct way to wear them is you wear them on your right. You don't wear them on your left. Okay, this is where the confusion is. And I don't think the confusion is created because people want to wear medals and make it look like it's something that they earned. I don't think people do that in this country. It probably happens in America a bit. They call it stolen valor. Doesn't happen here. But I think it just happens because people just simply don't know. They're not taught these things on how to correctly wear the medals that have been presented to someone else that they are allowed to wear. So if you're wearing your grandfather's medals, for argument's sake, wear them on your right. Okay. Those of us that served, we wear ours on our left. But I ask you to do one thing. On Tuesday morning, you see somebody who's of the right sort of age, they might be a Vietnam veteran. I remember a lot of these Vietnam guys in their 70s and 80s. If they're wearing their medals on the left, chances are that's theirs. You get a guy that's a bit younger than me, 30s and 40s, and he's wearing Iraq and Afghanistan medals on his left, chances are they're his. And you'd be surprised how many of those people are around. There's a lot of service personnel around who served in Afghanistan and Iraq that you might have 2 or 3 of them in your town, you don't even know. But you'll know about it on Tuesday morning. And what I ask you to do is find that person or those people that are wearing their medals correctly on their left-hand side. You're going to know straight away they present totally differently to the average punter that's wearing the medals of their grandfather. Go up to them, shake their hand, and say thank you. Okay? Pat them on the back. Give them a hug if you want. Ask them if it's okay first. Hey, I just said about Corona. Come on, we're talking about, we're in a different world these days, aren't we, folks? Give them a hug. Say thank you. Right? It's one thing we don't do properly in this country at all. It's one thing the Americans do extremely well is they look after their ex-service personnel impeccably. It's one thing that we as Australians should take out of the Americans' book of how to look after our ex-service personnel. In Australia, ex-service personnel are just a used commodity and you get turfed to one side. I basically left when I was injured and I was on my own. No support, no nothing. Another story, another day. In America, it doesn't happen. They get looked after. The family gets looked after, the whole lot. And a lot of people struggle, ex-Australian service personnel struggle in PTSD type situations. One of the saddest things of all is that what people don't know is that we have lost more people through suicide who are ex-service personnel from the Iraq and Afghanistan conflict when they've come home and committed suicide through PTSD grounds than what we ever lost over there in battle. It's a fucking disgrace. It really is. It doesn't get talked about, and it needs to be made frontline news because it's bullshit. These people protect our nation and they come back and they get left in themselves and they just don't know how to assimilate back into society and they take their own lives. It's a disgrace. So what I'm asking you to do is on Tuesday morning when you're up there, see these guys and girls, go up and say thank you. Right? They may never have had anybody ever say thank you for their sacrifices and for the things they have done to give you the country you live in and the place that you enjoy. And it is a protected nation. Okay, so just go up and say thank you. It's as simple as that, right? This person may be struggling on Anzac Day. It brings up a lot of raw emotions in some of these guys and girls, and it takes them back to a place that sometimes they don't want to be, but they're there to pay respect for their mates, right? And to pay tribute to their mates who may not have come home, who may have come home and have had tragedies since. It can be a very difficult day for them, but you might just put that smile on their face, and they might not have smiled on Anzac Day for 5 years, 10 years or more. You might be that one person that actually goes out of their way to do something as simple as saying, thanks, mate, right? And change their whole outlook on it. So get there on Tuesday morning, right? Anzac Day is a day for all Australians. Race, colour, creed, where you come from, what you wear, doesn't make any difference. We stand as one, and we do so to make sure that those people who have given us what we've got are given them the respect they deserve. And by you saying thank you to somebody on a one-on-one basis, completely off the cuff, could be that one thing that they have been missing. So get out there. If you've got your grandfather's medals, bloody wear them. I'm just using grandfather as a term, but got somebody's medals, wear them. Please wear them on the right, okay? Just remember that as a sign of respect for those who are wearing them on the left. Right? We like seeing other people wearing them and wearing them correctly. So wear them on the right. Do the right thing, okay? Remember that. Do the right thing, okay? See somebody, say, thanks, mate. Go on with your day. They can go on with their day, and they'll look back at it and they'll say, yeah, maybe I did it for the right reasons. Stay dull. Enjoy your day.